all protocol observed. When I listened to the welcome address, I realized why I was asked to be here at 6 o'clock, knowing very well that the program was going to start at 7. Because they knew I would observe the Ghanaian time. So certainly, if I was told even to be here at 6, I will be here at 7. So that I'll be here in a good time for the program to start at 7. But I think she had it wrong this time around, because at 6 I was here. In other words, I'm trying to say that there's a new wave of thinking, and I want to believe that I share in her philosophy that if there's one result that we can never toy with, it is that of time. And under no circumstance should we have what we call a Ghanaian time. Time is the same everywhere on the globe. So if hitherto our thinking was that, yes, as Africans, we would not observe the right time, now that mindset is changing, and it should change for the better. As perhaps the biggest HR practitioner for Ghana, I want to believe that there's no dispute about the fact that the public sector perhaps is the biggest employer, the biggest single employer in Ghana. And if I happen to be the Minister of Employment, then it suggests that I'm also an HR practitioner. So inviting me to grace this program, I think is the right thing to do. And I want to say that I admire the private sector. I admire people like practitioners who are organizing this program. And I want to believe that if we can grow the HR very well, then we need a proper collaboration between both the private practitioners and those of us in the public sector too. And that is why I think that this program perhaps is one of the best that I have witnessed since being the Minister of Employment. Kudos, thank you for this beautiful program. But for me, our HR practice should lead to the employment of more and more of our young people who are currently not working. If I was ever asked to indicate the biggest problem of this country today, or the biggest fear that I have as a citizen, I would never say that my biggest fear is that perhaps if we are not very careful, one day soldiers will run on government and take control over the reins of governance. Neither will I say that my biggest fear is that some other country nationals will run over us and annex our country. I would rather say that our biggest problem is the teeming number of young people who are supposed to work but are not being engaged and can't constitute themselves into a force against leadership in this country. Unemployment is a huge problem on our hands as a nation. And it behoves on us, both as public and private practitioners, to ensure that we help reduce this problem on our head. The recent statistics provided by the Ghana Living Standards Survey indicates that about 11.9% of citizens who are supposed to work are not working. And even if you zero in on the young people, the figures are even far worse. 20% of our young people who are supposed to work are not working. And even for those who are working, many of them are underemployed. So it's a serious problem on our hands. If you move from down south of our nation up north, the main work, which is done by majority of people there, is farming. And most of the farming is mainly rain-fed agriculture. It rains only 4 months in a year up north. So it means that they are engaged only 4 months in a year. But per the Ghana Statistical Services computation, such people are even classified as workers. So if you take them and add them to the unemployed population, the figures will even be more than the 20% that we are talking of. So my dear people, as HR practitioners, what is it that we can do together to help solve this problem of unemployment on our hands? That is the challenge I want to throw to us today, even as we celebrate our good people who are very good and have excelled in the practice of HR practice in Ghana. Let's think about it. We may not find the solutions today, but I want to believe that even as we deliberate further back at our workplace, we may be able to find solutions to some of these problems that we have on our hand. Once again, I want to congratulate the organizers of this program and to thank them for inviting me and to say that I wish them well in their practice. I was sharing some thoughts with Dr. Joyce Aye, especially on your relationship with your workers. Gone are the days when the thinking was that workers are just a tool of production. We used to say that our customers are the people who engage us, and they are the best people who visit us at our workplace. But I want to believe that in modern days, the thinking is changing. And it is even about time that some HR practitioners are proposing theories which even suggest that we should recognize labor as perhaps part of management and part of ownership of our businesses. If we go in with that mindset and involve them in decision making, we usually will get the best returns out of them. But if we only see them as tools of production, we end up getting just what we put in. I will end by saying that there was this successful management practitioner who was asked of the secret behind his success. What type of management scientific tool is he applying? And then his answer was very simple, that I practice management by walking around. He was asked, what do you mean by management by walking around? He said, what I do every morning is that immediately I get to the workplace, I go to almost every person in the organization, from the security through the cleaner to the top management members of my organization. And by doing that, I get to know every bit of what is happening at my workplace. The security man feels proud that the head of his organization will give him a pat at the back and ask him, how was the night? What happened in the course of the night when we were not here? The cleaner feels proud that the managing director of his organization will ask him, how was your work today? And management members also feel proud being asked of their opinion about the successes of their business. That is the mentality I will want us to adopt even as HR practitioners. If we do that, we'll be able to get the best results out of them. So if not for anything at all, this night, I want to leave you with the message. What kind of management practice are you involving in? Are you going to adopt the mechanical type or the management by walking around? And I want to prescribe to you the management by walking around too. Thank you, and God bless you all.